Hello and welcome back. If you've not had a chance to watch the first episode yet, I would recommend you do so as it is pretty good. If you like any of the music that's in the show, I've got links to all the songs used in the description. And as well as that, if you are curious about my Sandbox settings, mods or build that I'm running, that's also linked in the description. So we pick up here, we're driving to Irvington. Last week we completed Rosewood, I did everything I wanted to. This week I need to be looking at making a forever base and long-term survival. This is the warehouse we're going to use. Before I start kicking things off though, I do quickly go inside. The reason for this is I want to get these garage doors open just before the fight. Because zombies will bang on them, zombies will break them, and if those garage doors go, they ain't coming back. Now, before we can call this a secure base, we obviously need to kill every zombie in the area. So sit back, relax, enjoy the vibes, enjoy the violence. And that was that. Now, one great thing about this base location is this factory next door. It is absolutely stacked out with beef jerky. It's so much, in fact, that I didn't bother bringing any food down from Rosewood. I did have quite a lot of work to do if I wanted to get this place safe and secure. The first thing was obviously just cleaning up the last couple of zombies. There was another one hiding inside as well. With that zombie stank, you don't really want to kill them too close to where you're living, so I took him out to the front door and I beat him down there. Then I got to work disassembling some crates, not just to make some space, but also to create some planks for the front gate. I finished off the evening clearing out a bit more of the main garage room, and then I got myself to bed. I did find it quite funny because I'd spent a lot of the first week absolutely fiending for nails and finding nothing, and then within one day here I had a bed full. On the start of day 9, I get back to work, clearing out more boxes, gathering more planks. The plan today is to build out wall frames inside the base until I hit level 4 carpentry. Then I'm going to be heading back to Rosewood, as I did leave all my skill books back there. As I drive past the building to the east of me, I do honk my horn to try pull the zombies out of the car park, as that place is going to be vital for getting animals later. On the way back, I am cut off by a horde. Now, these are really great now. If you look closely, you can see one of them's got a backpack on. They are basically just walking loot crates. You're going to find some decent books in there. I don't bother stopping, but it is worth knowing. The rest of the drive back was actually pretty dull, nothing really happened. As soon as I get back to Rosewood, I get set about getting through these skill books, getting this carpentry read so that I'm going to be able to build the nice walls at the new base. As I spend all day doing nothing but reading the books, I do manage to get carpentry finished in the same night. I have myself a nutritious tea and get off to bed. I wake up having nightmares again, and I'm starting to think Ferbert might actually be causing the problems. I've run out of 6, so I go and make a few. And then I burn a quick one at the kitchen cooker. After that, I don't really want to be awake too much, so I pop some sleeping pills, have a quick drink, full tub of ice cream, and then it's off back to sleep. When I wake up properly for day 10, I get a head start reading that electrical book. I just do sit here and completely finish the thing, and then I've got a few more electronic items still in the box, so I get those disassembled for a little bit of experience. I start sawing some logs with the intention of actually building a little pillbox out front, but as I'm doing this, I hear a helicopter event going on. Now, most of Rosewood should be clear, but at the same time, I don't really want to be going out there, having massive fights, wasting resources. So I decide to sit about, chill in the house. I get a bit bored, so I decide to watch The Dog Goblin. I love all the little films and literature they've now got in this. If you start collecting the videos in this, they are well worth watching and actually paying attention to the little scripts. A lot of them are like plays on actual real world films, so there's a load of cool little references in them. Once the helicopter leaves, I get to work building the pillbox out front. With Rosewood just being a safe house, I actually quite prefer it having the level 4 walls, so it has a little bit of jank to the look of it. I also go ahead and barricade the windows on the bedroom so I can sleep a little bit safer at night. My final task is to try and build the gate at the front. However, Zomboid has different ideas and it just eats all my ingredients. But unwilling to let Zomboid defeat me, I come back afresh in the morning and I build myself a gate anyway. After that, I wanted to get the pillbox finished. Now, when it comes to barricading these windows, when it's just an empty window frame, I always really struggle to find the sweet spot where you have to click. I've got a friend and he can do it both sides, no problem every time, but it just never works for me, so I have to get some windows to put in them, which makes it a lot easier to click on and barricade. Of course, Zomboid does have its own sense of humour, and I actually run low on nails, and the last couple of windows I can only put a single plank across them. And that was about everything that I wanted to do in Rosewood, so I grabbed a few tools I'd need in Irvington, and I hit the road. Arriving back, it was straight back to work. I still needed to get that last push just to get my carpentry level up, so I was just building wall frames. I even started to build the frame for a farmhouse. However, I was running out of planks. Thankfully, one of the tools I grabbed in Rosewood was an axe, so I got to work chopping some down, wrapping up some 4 stacks, dumping them in the drive, and then making some planks out of them. While sawing the planks, I actually got my carpentry 6, which was great because it meant I could get straight to work on the nice window frames and not waste any resources trying to level up further. And that was about it for day 11. When I woke up on day 12, I only had one goal on my mind, and that was to get the pillbox finished and get this base secure. Once again, I did need to gather windows in order to make it easy for it to be clicked on and barricaded. So I went out, got all the ones I needed. As well as that, I needed to gather some hinges and doorknobs to actually be able to build the door itself. This time I had a bit better luck. Project Zomboid did not decide to eat all my resources, and I got the door up with no major hiccups. Then it was time to get some long-term survival set up. I'm using a new mod I've never used before that fixes the water collector so you can plumb them in. With this little lip at the front of the base, it was the perfect place to put them. And then I moved the sink and the toilet out of the bathroom and set them up just below so that I would be able to plumb them in. You might find it odd that I chose to use a toilet here, but it makes me smile every time I see him drink out of it, and it's important to enjoy the little things. As we dive deeper into the apocalypse, self-sufficiency does become really important, so I got myself some animal zones in there and I started work on some chicken coops. Now that I've got the chicken huts in there, I need some chickens to go inside them, so I head down the road to the big cattle farm. However, the resistance was far more than I was expecting. While I might have left there with no chickens, I do find myself a new truck, so it is just one of those moments. Lose one, you win another. Arriving back at base, I decide it's time to start furnishing the place for a little bit better quality of life, and the first room I target is the kitchen. I'd also picked up a new bed when I was out looting for windows, but foolishly, I'd actually left that in the previous car, so I had to go back to the cattle ranch to grab it. And it looked so cosy that I just couldn't wait to try it out. Day 13 started with me going back to Rosewood. Because of the ruckus you saw earlier in the video, I didn't really have much ammo over in Irvington. And I had a little bit of plan with what I wanted to do tomorrow morning, so I needed to go get some bullets for that. We had a couple of guests hanging out at the safe house, but one of them was actually so generous he brought me a brand new knife. Before leaving, I have a quick shave to keep the tash on point, and I hit the road. On the drive back, I notice a survivor zombie and he's not balled up with others. If he's going to be standing there with a bag full of loot, it'd be rude not to take it. And then further down the road I see another. This guy does have a couple of friends with him, but because there's a big military backpack on him, I figure I definitely have to get this one. Before I get back home, I stop off at the cattle market for round 2. It seems like yesterday's tomfooleries have pulled a lot of them over to the west, so it is pretty accessible. Oh, yeah! Now you might have noticed during the fight I was opening the cages to the chicken pens. This was so that the chickens would run outside and they'd be closer to the wagon for me to put them in. However, I noticed this one chicken just stood in the pen and I think to myself,
you got those beach ball sized lady nuts and I want to harness the heat coming off of them.
And so I present you the only chicken I've named so far, Lady Balls. Now, if you do have any cool names for chickens, feel free to leave me a comment. I've got 12 chickens and a cockerel that need naming. The cockerel, however, is a right dickhead. Every time he sees me, he just makes a beeline for me and starts attacking. I have a quick check in the survivors' backpacks as well, and both of them have got annotated maps. Now, if you know anything about annotated maps, you will understand why I've tagged this one here as Jackpot. And just in case you're curious about the rest of the loot they had in the backpacks, here it is. And that's it for day 13. I had a quick ciggy before bed, and then I get my head down. Day 14 is an early start. We've got a few things we need to do today. First of all, we're going to be needing some storage for the food room. And like I said yesterday, one of the main reasons we went to Rosewood was to pick up some ammo. Where we're going to go to get the storage for the food room is the Gigamart, and we're going to take some of those nice Gigamart shelves from there. And last time I went down there was an absolute mega horde outside, and I wasn't really expecting it. This time when I go down there, I'm more than prepared. Now, I wasn't joking when I said that I came here for shelves. These things are going to look amazing in my pantry. I love the way when you put items on them, they actually look like they've got food and stuff on them. It's a really cool vibe for the base. Now, obviously after that ruckus, I was low on ammo, so I decided to go up and check out the shooting club. I got enough ammo to keep me satisfied for a little bit, and once again, another really cool basement. This time it's a shooting range. Back at base I get the shelves installed, and I mean, just look at these beauties. You can't tell me they weren't worth every bit of bloodshed. After that, my guy is pretty tired, but I don't want to go to bed too early. I want to get my sleep cycle back on track. So I clean the base up, and I can't be bothered organising everything either. So when I say clean the base up, I mean, I collect the stuff and put it in a big pile. And that is it for this week. If you've made it this far, you should probably go ahead and hit that like button. And if you do want to see some more, you go ahead and hit that subscribe. I will be back in a couple of weeks where we will still be in Irvington, finishing off this compound, looking at more long-term survival, more vibes, more violence. I'll see you all there. Take care now.